Viewers like you make this program possible. Support your local PBS station.
If something's good, I want to share it with you and you.
I'm going to Hong Kong,
I've loved every single bite.
the gateway to Asia and maybe even the new center of the world.
You get a lot of nature's greatest hits.
It's home to the best dim sum,
One bite, you want another one.
some questionable liquids, and spicy Szechuan that does not kid around.
I might have gotten a little extra chili in that bite.
All the thrills this delicious mashup of a city can dish out.
Whoa!
Can I take it? It's all next on.
I have what feels heavy.
There were things I never tasted growing up, like food with any flavor. In our house, meat was a punishment. When I went into the real world, I was like a man coming out of the desert. Then I started writing comedy and traveling to other lands to eat. The world can be a beautiful, delicious, and friendly place when we travel and eat great food together. I'm Phil Rosenthal, and I'm here to see and eat most of it and to say to you, come on, you can have what I'm having.
I didn't know anything about Hong Kong. I guess I watched Jackie Chan movies and Bruce Lee movies, and that's all I knew. It looked chaotic in those movies and crazy and I don't know, it didn't look like a beautiful place. And then I got here, it's on the water, and there's these beautiful bridges, and you see these giant modern skyscrapers and boats on the water, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Settled for thousands of years because it sits on one of the world's finest natural harbors, Hong Kong was the jewel in the crown of the British Empire for 150 years before being ceded back to China in 1997, a transition that hasn't always been a smooth one. But the city survives in all its glory, one of the most densely populated areas on Earth, with people stacked on top of one another.
And they jut out at different angles. It looks like the game, Jenga.
It's a living contradiction of old and new, traditional and modern, and that's reflected in everything, especially the food. Since this is my first time here, I'm gonna dive into it the way the locals do, with something I already know and love, dim sum.
Tim Ho Wan has the distinction of being the least expensive restaurant in the world that has a Michelin star.
And that's no small feat. That star says you're preparing food at a consistently high standard, and in this case, at a very nice price, too.
It's a dim sum place that doesn't look like very much from the outside, doesn't even look like very much from the inside.
If you've been to a Chinatown, you probably know about dim sum, which might be the origin of this whole small plates movement. There's lots of steamed or fried dumplings, sweet and savory buns, cakes, rice porridge, and lots of tea. My companion today is Yvonne Chung. She's one of Hong Kong's top sommeliers and a devoted dim sum lover like me.
I'll pick a couple. You pick a couple?
Great.
All right. And then for dessert.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Who do we see? Ngoy. That's my one word I know.
That's the most important one.
Yeah.
This style of eating got its start centuries ago, during refueling stops along the ancient Silk Road. It's fast-paced and full of variety.
There's Kanchi.
Rice porridge, right?
Yeah. This is a classic breakfast item.
These ladies have all the condiments.
Yeah.
Should we steal them?
Maybe we can ask them. 麻煩你可唔可以用嗰啲醬啊？唔好意思啊，
Ngoy.
唔該晒。
Oh, English. You speak English? Yes, you too. No, you're the only one? Ah, so we can talk about them. Okay. Which one do you like the best? I meant your friends. Oh, here we go.
One of my favorite things about dim sum, almost instant gratification.
Look how fresh that looks.
Can I suggest that
Yeah.
you try this one first?
Wow.
There's this saying that you can determine the craftsmanship of the chef by the shrimp dumplings.
This is a craftsman. is this? It's called the lightest wrapper ever. Ah, here's the shumai. I know that's called shumai.
Yes,
Tell me what you love most about Hong Kong.
the energy. And it's a non-stop town, whether you like it or not.
Not only is it a mashup of cultures, but it's a mashup of history.
Yeah.
You'll see Tiffany's, and then above Tiffany's, it looks like very old buildings with laundry hanging, and a modern skyscraper with bamboo scaffolding.
Yes.
That might be kind of the perfect image of the place.
It's a city of contrasts, the strange and the deliciously familiar.
These white baked buns came out. These are usually doughy and boring.
Oh my God.
It was so light and fluffy, and inside was the most delicious roast pork in a delicious sauce. Oh my God.
Come on. We need another order. One bite, you want another one. Where's the lady? I've never been happier to see a second order of anything.
You know, they're hotter now, so you
Wow,
should
we
just
gotta
try it.
have them hot. It's this fantastic combo of the sweet, crunchy thing with the soft, almost vinegary, a perfect balance.
I heard that the chef is the chef at the Four Seasons, the Cantonese restaurant there. And I think he just wanted to go back to his roots and make really good food for everybody.
You gotta love this guy for going back to his roots.
Wow, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
I love the food. Tell him I love the food.
佢好鍾意食呢啲嘢。
It's the best dim sum I ever had.
And now I get to screw up those world's best pork buns.
Too big, he said.
Too big. Sorry, buddy.
You want buns like...
Yes, I do. These are perfect.
Yeah, they sure are. Mine are far from it.
Maybe it's the size of his hands. The simplest thing. Look how,
They're perfect.
Yeah, but that, oh, this is, sorry. We better wash that. Sorry. But he's like, when are they leaving? This might be more my speed. Nah, I can't do that either. Let's just
Oh my
watch the
God.
master. That is so beautiful. So that becomes that?
Yeah.
Do they put anything on top? Ah. Oh. So that's a frosting.
When it bakes, it gets that nice crust that we like so much.
Melts into itself. All right, that's genius.
Yeah. Just frost in a cupcake.
I've never done that either, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
Look at his. There's never been a better demonstration of expert and dummy. Thank you for letting me ruin one.
The literal translation of dim sum means to touch your heart. I had 3 or 4 of those pork buns, so it might do more than just touch my heart. Today, I'm taking the tram ride up to the top of Victoria Peak.
This is a big touristy thing, apparently. I had no idea.
I thought this would be a nice, beautiful little romantic ride up the hillside on a funicular, you know, click, 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 click. There's always something, though, on vacation. A little thing that maybe you don't expect.
Every trip with my mother was like that.
But if you can survive your trip up the mountainside, you are rewarded with this. We're at the top of Hong Kong Island, looking across the harbor to Kowloon and mainland China beyond that. As I look over this magnificent skyline, which has the most skyscrapers of anywhere in the world, I have some profound thoughts like, I wonder if that kid's gonna be on the tram ride down with me, too. There are 7 million people in Hong Kong, many of them jammed into a narrow strip of land between Victoria Peak and Victoria Harbor. It's like Manhattan, but more so. There's nowhere to go but up, sometimes even for dinner. But before we get there,
I've been very enthusiastic about all the food I've eaten on every episode of this thing, and I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And I'm not exaggerating when you see this enthusiasm. It's really a genuine reaction. But I ate something at Megan's Kitchen that was the most, well, just look.
Hello, welcome. This way, please.
I'm meeting some new friends in a private dining room here if I don't find the human resources office first.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Wilson Talk. Please come in.
Here they are. This is Lindsay Jiang, co-owner of two of Hong Kong's hottest restaurants, Yardbird and Ronan, plus food blogger Nicole Young and her husband, Yuji. Megan's Kitchen is a hot pot restaurant where you cook your own meal in a simmering pot of broth. But before that arrives, our attention goes to this.
I've been sitting here, so I've been looking, but I didn't want to, this is to eat.
They're century-old eggs.
Yeah, that's how I like them.
They're good.
Ladies first. And do you put any sauce or anything on it?
No, you just eat it like that.
And the white is brown.
What? I've never had one, to be honest.
I've
try
never
it.
had one either.
I'll try it,
so
I'll try it.
Phil does it.
if you do it, I will do it.
Yeah.
This is a tricky one.
Not too bad. Wait.
I mean, Tay, you gotta know
gonna
that a
use
lot
my
of Chinese
spoon.
food is not even based around taste. It's like consistency. If it's got a cool consistency, people are like, oh yeah, this is good.
I gotta man up.
The whole thing.
Yeah, see? YOLO.
Oh, it's not that bad. It just has like a weird aftertaste.
That
Kind of gross.
How is it
I
gross?
like it.
It tastes like nothing. It tastes like nothing. It just tastes like.
Tastes like
Beef?
it's rotten.
It is rotten.
Drink the beer.
No, that's what this is for. The ginger. That's what the ginger is for.
But what's the purpose of that?
Somebody call a doctor.
I'm gonna Google it.
Now we Google it after. You know what's great is the ammonia aftertaste.
Yeah, it's like there is some.
Ammonia. Made by preserving duck, chicken, or quail eggs in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls for several weeks to several months. It is never to be eaten. You should see a doctor immediately after ingesting.
Thank God the hot pot arrives, and we dunk meats and dumplings into the hot broth in this incredibly fun 1,000-year-old style of eating.
That looks good, right?
Yeah.
Here I go.
But I gotta say, I don't think there are enough hot pots in China to get the taste of that egg out of my mouth. As I get older, there's little aches and pains that we have. There's little ailments I'd like taken care of. And after last night's 100-year-old egg incident, maybe I should seek a little medical attention. So here, I'm meeting up with Professor Li Xing Lao, who's head of the Traditional Chinese Medicine Department at Hong Kong University, to see if he can find out what the hell is wrong with me.
Where are we? This is Medicine Street?
Yes, called Medicine Street, yes.
TCM, Traditional Chinese
That's
Medicine.
right. Not Western medicine, not drugstore.
No drugs.
Yes, all herbal medicine.
The basic idea behind Chinese medicine is that your life energy, or qi, circulates through different meridians in the body. A blocked meridian equals illness, and the various herbs and practices used in Chinese medicine work to free the blockages. Could use some for my head.
There's a lot wrong with me. I don't know. How much time do you have?
No problem.
This hip is always bothering me. And then this here,
Yeah.
this goes into
Lower
the
back
lower
pain.
back.
Yeah.
This, and there's a spot here that's always bothering me. Now I have one more thing I want to
Okay,
tell you.
Sure.
Couple more things. You might want to sit down. How can I sleep through the night without having to get up to go to the bathroom?
Okay. You have pee a lot. I have urination very
I wasn't
frequent.
going to say it like that.
Okay.
But yeah. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the fountain of youth. I want to feel young and be young until I die.
You're looking for miracle, actually.
Yes.
Basically.
They told me you were the guy.
Okay. So let's take a look. Let's see what I can find
Yes.
for your condition.
Great.
We have animal products.
Wait
here.
wait a minute. This is a lizard?
function.
Two lizards, face to face.
I asked, what is this good for? He said, it'll cure your cough.
This scares the cough away? What do you do with this?
You have to prepare.
You don't just
the
bite it.
herbal tea. If you want, you can try this.
I don't want, no.
Okay.
I have to be honest, I'm a little bit of a skeptic, right? So anything that's not something I grew up with or know very well or has been proven to me, you kind of look askance at it. But I'm here, when in Rome, right?
So here, this is the turtle shell. This can help you sleep. Also for the hot flash, not sweating. Also.
You have hot flash?
Hot, not sweating, and sleep.
I might know somebody. Yeah.
So let me see.
How much of this do you believe is psychosomatic, that you think it's going to be good for you and is traditional, and so it's like in my culture, the equivalent would be chicken soup.
Like any medicine, you have same psychological effect. It's very good for you. But there are also, I believe, there's also physiological effect. There's some medicinal component, active ingredient there to really help you.
That you've seen it proven.
Yes, because I see many patients in the clinic already. Now here's some ginseng. This is
Ginseng?
ginseng, American ginseng actually. This is American
Really?
ginseng, yeah.
So what did I come here
American
for?
ginseng.
Yes.
If you feel tired in the morning,
In a
for
tea?
In a tea.
So lots of ginseng.
Yeah, this is the deer horn, basically.
Deer horn?
Deer horn is for kidney, for the kidney young.
This is little slices of
Slices,
the horn
yes,
of a deer.
Yes, and this is the seahorse. Seahorse also for kidney,
Seahorse?
Yeah, seahorse is very good. This is called Chinese yan. If you have poor appetite, if you don't want to eat much,
Yes,
then
that's
if
not my
you-
problem.
But before I just buy out this whole store, Professor Lau suggests I get a real diagnosis and prescription from a traditional Chinese doctor.
I wasn't nervous.
We go to the actual clinic at the university, and Professor Lau introduces me to his friend Dr. Su. Not Dr. Seuss, Dr. Su.
是美国过来的 ，OK。
Sit down, please.
Sit here?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, this is exciting. Okay.
You can talk to her about your symptoms if
Okay.
you like, then if we can make a diagnosis.
Yes.
And I will translate and interpret for you.
What's wrong with you?
I don't need an interpreter for this.
Everyone I meet asks me the same question.
So I lay out my one or two complaints to the doctor.
But lately, in the last...
It feels 3 pulse, like first one, second, third one. Each one have different organs and the depths. That's what she's feeling.
Different organs?
Yeah, it's organ. Yeah, kidney deficiency.
And she says, you have a slight kidney dysfunction. Now, this is very interesting. What I didn't tell her was that this past year, I had 2 kidney stones. Yes. How did she know kidney dysfunction? From this.
Please.
My tongue?
Tongue.
Okay. Open the mouth a little bit more. Yeah, like this, yes.
Okay. 佢哋嘅眼咧
Then we'll look at the eye.
紅啊，偏紅啊，
Reddish, yeah.
有少少紅，有一點紅尖啊。Thank you.
That's it? Am I going to live?
This is the formula. Like prescription.
The prescription. Is there any food that I should avoid or a food that I should eat more in addition to this?
吃东西就是
cut down sweet.
Cut down on sweets.
Cold,
Don't
warm.
eat cold food.
Not much cold.
More warm
Warm.
food.
Is like,
ice cream.
yeah, no ice cream.
No ice cream. Yeah, so why don't I just kill myself?
You still
You're
have
laughing.
You still alive.
That's not funny
Very
for me.
little. Very little.
Very little. Okay. Do you take Blue Cross?
We go out to the pharmacy. There's people waiting like they're at the CVS.
梁師傅又麻煩你啦。
And here's my prescription.
But here's the stuff. It's coming out, and it's a lot of the herbs we saw in the market. And the pharmacist is putting out, here's some twigs here. Oh, there's a few too many twigs on that day. Puts a few here. Here's some little slices of antler. Thank God no lizards. They had 7 pieces of plastic because there's going to be 7 days of dosage.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful.
It looks nicer than Ambien or Advil. It looks nice.
Yes.
So the pharmacist is going to grind up my special prescription, turn it into a tea, and deliver it to me in a day or so. And I gotta say, I'm very excited to try it. But the professor is not quite done Easternizing me yet.
You follow me. First, we close the feet. Okay, then step out. Yes, good. Then kneel down a little bit. Yeah. So use the arm, right hand, move, make a circle. Right, right. And left hand, you stop the right hand. Yes, good. Then join together.
You could almost say my moves are balletic.
You look way better doing this than I do.
Slowly.
I move like a combination of Fred Astaire and Mikhail Baryshnikov. I think people watching are gonna feel jealous.
I'd like the whole crew to join me now
Okay.
in a Tai
You
Chi
want to join
class.
me?
Why should I die of embarrassment?
Like this.
I think you should all be. Yes, that's right.
Look at this, right? Join.
This has to be the worst TV show ever made.
Anytime you're traveling, you want to talk to your friends who might know something about where to eat, right? So I asked my friends, great chefs who've gone to Hong Kong recently, and they said you got to go to Yardbird. Yardbird is actually a Japanese restaurant run by a Canadian named Matt Abergel. Yakitori restaurant. Yakitori is the Japanese skewers, you know, and chicken seems to be the specialty. We're gonna eat with Matt the chef tonight, and someone we already met, his partner, Lindsay.
Whoa! What's happening?
This is sake we make.
This is the unfiltered.
Yeah.
I like
They're both
that.
junmai.
Can I pour for you?
I'd love if you drank it straight from the bottle. Yeah.
It's beautiful, and it goes down a little too easy. I might finish that.
You're gonna finish more than one.
I'm a
It's gonna
lightweight.
get ugly.
No, I will, because I'm a lightweight, and I'm a really nasty drunk.
Yardbird also specializes in izakaya, Japanese small plates. We start out with pickled cucumber, daikon, kimchi, as well as a dish that seems very familiar to me.
I'll mix it for you. It's Matt's version of like a traditional liver mousse.
All right, this is totally Jewish. This is chopped liver with onions and griminis.
So we make schmaltz and put it on the bread and toast it. My
But,
boobies.
So we're here because of my friend Nancy Silverton, who was here a couple weeks ago and said her favorite meal in Hong Kong is this. Her favorite chef in Hong Kong is you. You know, we were gonna focus on Chinese restaurants, naturally, in Hong Kong. But I'm glad we're here because what I've discovered in less than a week here in Hong Kong is that this is a mashup of a city.
Yeah.
Every culture is here.
Now it's on to the chicken. Matt serves just about every part of the bird, inside and out. First up, chicken tail with simple salt and pepper. And here's chicken thigh, topped with shiso.
You can't get tired of like good meat being barbecued. So no, I don't get sick of the food.
You can't get sick of grilled chicken.
And this is such a fun way to eat. So not only is Hong Kong a mashup, but you're a human mashup, right? Both of yous.
You should see our kids.
Together, you're a crazy mashup of, tell us everything.
So I'm half Scottish and half Chinese.
Got it.
My mom is like 7th generation Scottish Canadian. And Matt is like Israeli, Moroccan, Polish, Russian.
And you're cooking Japanese food in Hong Kong. It doesn't get more mashup than that.
It's the future.
It is the future.
Now this is one of Yardbird's most popular dishes. This is a sweet corn tempura.
Come on. Oh. Wow.
It's just corn. Tempura flour, water, Salt and pepper.
I was expecting a mush of corn, like a meal. This is fresh, sweet, perfectly ripe kernels of corn in the lightest, most beautiful tempura batter. Holy crap.
Matt and Lindsay are a wonderful couple, and they're doing extraordinary things. They've made one of my favorite restaurants anywhere.
I finished. Did it. I'm a man. It's my bar mitzvah.
You would think that the subway system in Hong Kong would be chaotic and noisy and messy and dirty, and it's the complete opposite. It's the most beautiful subway system I've ever seen. You go downstairs, and it's air-conditioned and beautiful, and there's shops and places to eat, and then it's quiet. Don't be intimidated. If you come here, go on the subway, use the subway. It's fantastic.
Silent. Hold on. Hold on. Look at the map, how simplified it is. I love it. This is maybe my favorite subway system I've been on in the whole world. Even tells you in English the stuff that's right outside this door happens to be my hotel.
And guess what was waiting for me there?
Okay, so my prescription has arrived. It was delivered to the hotel. And here's my prescription. 20 pounds of pouches containing the tea that they've made from all those twigs and nuts and berries and lizards and whatever else they put on there. Look, it says Phil. So it was made especially for me, right? And they say you're supposed to take this pouch twice a day. Two a day. Take 2 a day of these. And put them in hot water for 5 minutes. So I'm sticking it in here, and we're gonna wait 5 minutes. Dun, 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 dun. Here's, it's ding, here it is. Oh, I'm excited. They say to shake it. Good, and now we open it. Here we go. Good, I think I got it all, good. It's kind of a sour mushroom, rubber tire, old leaves, animal by the side of the road. Yeah, I'm not finishing this.
I'd be so happy to take this if it was only in pill form. But I am open-minded about other things, like new ideas. This is a repurposed government building that once housed policemen and their families, but it's now kind of an incubator for new ideas, a place for young artisans to work and ply their trade. It's here that I meet controversial local clothing designer Douglas Young, and we take a look around his shop, G.O.D., Goods of Desire.
You know, the surfer?
So you've designed all this?
Yeah. I'm the designer behind this brand. Hong Kong is a hybrid city, you know?
Yeah.
Everything that we have here is not really local, but sort of imported from overseas and then mixed with something, and then it becomes something else.
Douglas uses his designs to test the limits of freedom in these first decades after the return of Hong Kong to Chinese rule. Not always easy.
Which are the
What were
ones?
you arrested for?
Oh, I was arrested for a T-shirt design.
And it said?
And it said 14K. 14K. Now, 14K could be 14K as in a marathon. It could be gold, 14K gold, yeah? It could be many things. But the 14K that the police interpreted that as was, it's the name of a street gang, like, you know, mafia, like Triad. We call it Triad in Hong Kong.
Yeah, sure. And have you been arrested for anything in this shop?
Unfortunately, not yet.
Did you design what you're wearing?
Yeah,
right now?
yeah, of course. I'm always wearing my own stuff.
I think it looks so cool.
And if
I
you-
could not pull this off, but,
If
but
you
it
look
looks great on
closely,
you.
if you
Yeah.
look closely, there's a newspaper print.
Right.
It's been printed with a sort of
love
like
it.
a Chinese newspaper.
Is what's written anything?
Yes, if you read Chinese, you would realize that this is actually advertising for adult services.
Really? You're under arrest.
I suggest we quickly go out to eat so we can fit in a meal before he's carted off to jail again. Luckily, Douglas is a partner in a restaurant downstairs here. It's called Soho Fama. This is the leading organic restaurant in Hong Kong, where classic Chinese meets the whole farm-to-table movement, and it's one of the hippest restaurants in town. We're having dinner tonight with Douglas's partners Larry Tang and Stephen Wu, and we're joined by Chef Joe Shing.
Drunken egg.
Wait, so drunken prawn, drunken egg,
Very classic.
drunken visitor.
I'm a little egg shy lately, so I'm just gonna wait for the next course.
Well, orange peel congee.
Yeah, 5-year orange peel.
Yes.
It fills in local white wine for about 2 months.
But wait, you're the mixologist.
Yes, I did.
So this is not congee, this is a drink.
This is drinks.
So
This is drinks.
what are you trying to do to me? So what do? I put this inside? Yeah.
Put the chia seed. That's the
Chia
chia seed,
seeds?
which is good for your body.
Sure, it's a very healthy drink.
Very you can taste all the
This is the best congee I ever had. Thanks very much.
What you have in front of you, these classic dishes which we reworked.
Did you give me the whole menu? Oh my God, that's good. Is there pork in this?
There is pork.
Yeah.
The pork is from Iowa, in US.
From Iowa.
Yeah. We don't get organic pork in Hong Kong. There's a lot of things that we get also from Australia, like our beef, which you'll be trying soon.
I'll be trying it very soon, like right now.
What?
It's a bit of like a Bruce Lee spirit there. Like you pick the best out of all kinds of kung fu and then you create your own.
Is that what I didn't know that.
Jeet Kune Do.
There's
no boundary.
That was his
Yeah.
invention.
Yeah.
That he took from many styles.
He was the original rule breaker. He was the first person to break through this, this Hong Kong thing and conquered the world.
I like the Bruce Lee approach to food. Pull a little from here, a little from there, and then kick your butt with it.
I've loved every single bite of food.
And sip of liquid.
Whenever I'm in any city, I want to find the park, because the park represents to me how the government, how the people, take care of each other. The park is where you go for a respite from big city life. And if the park is lousy, I think your city is lousy. Hong Kong Park in the middle of Hong Kong is so gorgeous, and it's so well thought out, and it's so well cared for. It's almost as if the path itself is saying, slow down, slow down. It's just been really beautifully designed, like a director is taking you through, and then there are these little beauty shots. It's like you're walking through a Chinese painting. Look at this. Now we're coming to the action movie. Wow. This is not a very big park, but you get a lot of bang for your buck here. They pack a lot of nature's greatest hits into a very small and beautifully thought out landscape. Just great. Turtle.
But it's not just about the greenery. This park has another path to peace of mind. I make my way to Lak Cha, a tea house in an old British colonial building in the middle of the park. It's a beautiful spot to serve the world's most popular beverage.
We all know tea is very important to the Chinese culture, and here is a tea house. Not only is it a tea house, but next door is the Museum of Tea Serviceware. That's how big a deal this is. And I sat with the master, Mr. Ip.
Please join me.
I will. In a fantasy of what you think a Chinese master would look like, that's him.
Pu'er tea. Actually, this is my daily tea.
Okay.
Pu'er tea is a little bit special to the Westerners.
Yes.
Because most of the tea, you have to drink it fresh. But this tea, you can keep it for 100 years. And older, the taste is better.
How old is this tea?
This tea already 15 years old.
P-U''ER. Good to drink all day long, but especially before bedtime. It'll help you sleep. That's a beautiful taste. It's like reminds me of wood a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes?
You're a very good palate you have.
Yeah?
Yeah. It is a very mellow tea and very good for your body.
I'm guessing that tea is healthier for the body than coffee. But it still has some caffeine in it.
The caffeine is a little bit different from coffee because coffee comes very sharp.
It comes
very
quickly.
quickly, yeah. And then tea is slower. Yeah,
Wow.
slower, but keep you longer time. So I suggest some people, you can shift part of your hobby into tea.
Okay.
Not only coffee, yeah. And
You use a much nicer word, hobby, than addiction. Yeah.
Mr. Ip recommends Assam or Yunnan tea for energy.
Tea has a very good property to kill the bacteria, to make you safe.
The Chinese consider all tea medicinal. Thank God this tastes much better than that stuff I had before.
This one is for precaution.
Ah.
Yeah. So
I would prefer to be preventative than have something wrong and then have to treat it.
Yeah. This is the core of the Chinese medicine.
And I think your enjoyment of the tea and the time you make for the tea also contributes to this well-being.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right.
All these kind of actions is wasting time. But you need to waste some time to settle your body. When you look at a symphony, they will have a section of adagio, slow movement, and then you can rest. Because otherwise the symphony is bum, 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 and then it's so soft, very
That's how I
quiet.
feel about this park in the middle of your city.
Yeah.
It's the adagio part.
Yeah.
Right? And this might be the adagio of the adagio.
This is the second part, how you prepare the tea.
Yes.
And try to extract the best to serve you.
Right.
Yeah. So one thing is very important, not all tea brewed with fresh boiling water.
Not all tea needs fresh boiling water.
Yes.
Mr. Ip, you're blowing my mind.
Some tea is lower temperature,
Yeah.
some tea is medium temperature,
Wow.
and some tea is boiling.
There's a lot we don't know.
Actually, it is very easy. Just look
Yeah.
at the color.
Okay.
Usually, darker the color, you need higher temperature.
So he shows me how to make green tea the ceremonial way. First, he warms the cups, then steeps it for 1 minute in less than boiling water to coax out the delicate flavors.
What I'm learning is it's not just the thing itself, it's the process that is calming and nice.
Before you drink, first smell. Just like wine.
Then you drink your tea in 3 sips. A small one to test the temperature,
And then the second sip is the most important part. You drink most of the tea. Let it stay in your mouth a little bit and then swallow slowly. Yeah. Yeah.
a third sip to savor the cooler last drops.
That's such a beautiful little ceremony. I notice you don't have a sweetener. You don't have a honey. You don't have a sugar.
We don't want to put anything there.
Nothing.
Nothing is better. Because tea is a very subtle taste, very delicate.
And he says never put milk in your tea.
The milk reduces the effects of the tannin, of the polyphenol. Because this polyphenol is very important part of the tea as an antioxidant to help your circulation and soften your blood vessel and something like that.
This is a public service you just gave us. Yes, don't put milk in your tea, people.
Mr. Ip introduces me to one more tea.
This is what we call the Kung Fu style.
Kung Fu?
Kung Fu.
Like Kung Fu, the...
Yeah, but
Okay.
nothing to do with Jackie Chan. Yeah? The
No.
Same word.
Same word.
Same word. Yeah.
And what does Kung Fu mean?
Kung Fu actually not means the martial art.
No.
It is means something with a very high level of techniques of craftsmanship.
This oolong tea is kung fu because it goes through a strenuous process of rolling and drying. The preparation is pretty kung fu too. With hotter water, he wets the tea once to open up the leaves, pours that out, then adds more water and lets it steep for 10 seconds only.
You become an expert now.
I love being an expert in
So-
tea. I learned so much about tea, this thing that's ubiquitous that we take for granted every day.
The process is very interesting.
Yes.
You try to master it, yeah. So the process is the most important part, actually, yeah. So life is a similar thing.
And maybe we should all have a little process like this in our daily life. Something that makes us feel better. That's not just this or this, right? I love Mr. Ip. Bought a lot of tea.
I go from one of the calmest and most peaceful afternoons I've ever had to one of the spiciest nights of my life. Now, I don't know what you people are thinking, but I'm talking about food. I love Szechuan food, which is where Matt Walsh comes in. They call him China Matt. He's an expat American who knows the country inside and out. And he's taking me to what he says is the most authentic Szechuan place in all of Hong Kong. Its name is...
I think this is the right pronunciation. That's the right one. So Sanxilou.
You love Sichuan food.
Well, I like all Chinese food. There's many different regional cuisines. You know, you can never just say Chinese food.
They're all so different, but only Szechuan has the unique, addictive peppercorn.
The Sichuan peppercorns are not spicy hot, but they make that numbing flavor. You've had that in Sichuan.
Yes, ma la is that?
Well, that's the ma.
Right.
And la is the chili hot. So a lot of Sichuan dishes are both ma and la.
I call it like 3D eating.
It is. It's very
because
layered.
there's another effect, literally, in your mouth that you wouldn't get from just flavor and consistency.
And here comes my friend from what I'm now referring to as Egg Night.
Eugene from the other night came with us. He's the one who loves the cat pea eggs.
All right, here we go.
Ah, okay. These are pickled chicken feet.
Yes.
They've been cut into manageable pieces.
We'll determine how manageable that is. Yeah.
Listen, I ate the terrible egg. I drank the horrible tasting medicine. What more can you do to me?
Feet first, as they say.
Have you had chicken feet before?
I have. I always found it to be like gnawing on one's own finger a little bit. As soon as you get over the foot part, for an American, right? It's just a tasty thing. Look at me, I'm going for one more foot.
Go for it. I'll order some hot dishes, yeah? Let's get la ziqi, shui ju nu rou.
He doesn't even look at the menu.
Ma po doufu. Yeah, them bad here.
Oh my goodness.
You know how sometimes snakes have markings on them to let you know they will kill you? That's how this dish looked.
What we have here is beef.
Yeah.
And there are some noodles underneath.
Yes.
Some bamboo shoots.
Let's call it witch's beef.
It's like that. My only tip is to try and drain off as much of the oil and broth as you can before you eat.
Before you put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So to you, what's been the biggest change in China, or just in this region, you feel?
I might have gotten a little extra chili in that bite.
It hurts so good.
That is spicy. No, I'm good. You get
Szechuan food is like a tough, because when you eat socially, not everyone eats spicy food, so it's not high on the pecking order to go for Szechuan food.
But when you find friends who like it, that's where you want to go, right?
Food is so democratic, we're all drawn by the same thing. For example, you'll go to whatever popular restaurant in Hong Kong and you'll see the breadth of people that are sitting down. They're all from all walks of life.
That's true.
You know, you're connected by something. It's food, it's drink.
It's the most social activity.
Yeah.
If something's good, I want to share it with you and you, right? I want to turn you on to something. I want to eat the same thing.
Yeah.
That's the point.
The great thing about Hong Kong is that you get all this different regional Chinese cuisine.
Yep.
It's all in one place. You can eat Cantonese food, you can eat Shanghai food, you can eat Sichuan food.
By the way,
All
it's
there.
also French and Italian and everything else. I'm
Everything.
seeing
It's a very
everything.
international city.
It seems like the world's city, like the center of the world.
I think in some ways you could argue that too, because I mean, especially how things are developing in China, Hong Kong is your gateway.
And it's also my gateway to completely new tastes.
You said you like the numbing. we've been having dried Sichuan peppercorns give the flavor to that. These are the fresh ones. I would suggest not chomping down on one of these.
I promise I won't.
Your head will be numb for the rest of the night.
This is fish.
Yes.
Wow. Look how beautiful, moist, perfectly cooked that is. Not overcooked. No, like perfect. Perfect. That's absolutely delicious.
This is a dish a lot of people miss because they go for those bright red chili oil kind of dishes, but this is very aromatic, a little more subtle. Wonderful. Really lovely.
Wonderful.
Let me introduce you to this other dish.
Yes?
I like to say Sichuan's answer to buffalo chicken wings. Little pieces of chicken, deep fried with all these chilies and Sichuan peppercorns.
More chilies. The dried red killer chili peppers. More than I've ever seen in my whole life.
So you just go in and pick out like a winner.
It's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Especially when you get down to fewer and fewer.
Yes.
And people are digging through there looking for the last bit.
What a fun way to eat. Don't eat that one.
No. The version they do at this restaurant is better than any I've had in Sichuan, really anywhere in China.
Here's what's brilliant about Sansilo. They tread the edge. They're right on that razor's edge between great spicy, really good spicy, and too much.
Cheers. Little tea.
I got some weird one. What's this?
We tried a trick on him. We substituted his tea. I feel like a Folgers commercial. We substituted this man's coffee with Folgers coffee. Except in this experiment, we substituted Eugene's tea with my medicine tea.
Specialty of the house?
This is something super medicinal. I don't know. Something super medicinal.
Is it? You know why? That's the medicine they gave me.
Is it? Yeah, it's like...
They snuck it in on you.
He's pulled a fast one on you.
It doesn't taste that bad.
It backfired completely because he can drink anything or eat anything, apparently. He's fine with it.
It's not that bad. I have 15 bags of it if you like it.
It doesn't taste...
Look, he likes it. This is no fun. You're supposed to spit it out and go crazy.
Yeah,
Let me try it again.
Try it now. Maybe you'll love it.
Nope, still awful.
There you are. Hello.
How is this?
It's good, except now I can see you.
So, what's doing?
I absolutely love Hong Kong. I think it's so fantastic. Did you ever have any desire to come here?
No. No.
One of the things that I realized that makes you comfortable when you first come here is that we all know and love Chinese food. And we've been eating it our whole lives, really. And even when we were kids, at least twice a month, we would have Chinese food, right?
The Chinese dynasty came 2,000 years after the Jews came.
Yes.
The question is, what did the Jews eat for 2,000 years? Wait a minute. Hong Kong isn't just Chinese food. It's other foods also.
You're right.
I mean, it's like a universal city.
You're absolutely right. I went to a Chinese traditional doctor. He showed me Tai Chi. You know what Tai Chi is?
Yes.
So he showed me these moves, and so he told me to do this 10 minutes a day, and I have to say that my hip feels better. You want to see my move that he taught me?
Yes. Go ahead.
So this is the move. You ready? Can you see me?
Yeah.
So my knees are a little bent, and I'm just rotating from side to side.
Is that supposed to help your hip?
No, it's how I attract women. You want to try
The
it?
idea.
Get up, let's try it.
Go ahead, Max.
You can't look worse than me.
Can you see me?
Back up a little bit. That's good, Dad. I can. You're doing good. Look at this.
You guys,
Dad, a father and son activity we can do together.
isn't that wonderful?
I
You know
think-
what this does for me?
Yes?
I get dizzy.
I can't believe that I've had one lesson and now I'm a teacher. across Victoria Harbor from Hong Kong Island is a seafood mecca. This is an 8-minute boat ride to another world. We're traveling to Li Yu Mun. This is an entire village devoted to seafood.
Look at the color. And then look at those. That's a whole other color.
Joining me on my last night in Hong Kong are Douglas and my other new friends from Soho Farmer.
This is spectacular.
It's like an aquarium where you can eat the exhibit.
Where I'm from, you know, there's a lot of species that I've never seen. Have you had that before?
Lobster?
Not like a, that's not a Maine lobster. That's like from the planet Venus. I've also never seen this kind of thing. These are called mantis shrimps, right?
It's kind of like huge scampi.
This looks like a prehistoric creature. They all look prehistoric creatures. We are going to eat them anyway. They had the unfortunate luck to be delicious. Yeah.
The way it works here is you pick out what looks good to you, and a chef from one of the dozens of restaurants in the neighborhood tells you how he might prepare it. That also helps you choose.
Whoa!
We're gonna need a bigger boat. We choose lobsters and a few other jewels of the deep, and we whisk them down the pier to Gateway Seafood, where they'll be prepared in classic Hong Kong style.
Kampai.
And we're off. Razor clams, peel and eat shrimp.
Oh, yeah. Can you take spicy? I love spicy. Oh, hello.
And here comes the giant mantis shrimp.
Wow.
This is one of my favorites, garlic and chili. And the shells are soft, so you can just bite through the shell. Just bite through the whole lot.
I think we have different ideas of what soft means.
And just spit out the gunk.
There was a movie called Splash where the mermaid is presented with a lobster and she just bites right through the shell. That's what I feel like right now. Whoa. All right, so this is our lobster, yes? And they've done it with cheese.
Yes. And noodles underneath.
This is actually quite local classic, but I wonder how it started.
You know what this is? This is lobster mac and cheese. Big pieces of lobster tail. Come on, this is good.
We finish up with fresh scallops topped with rice vermicelli. This is Hong Kong to me. Wild, new, exciting, delicious. It's an instant party.
To razor clams.
I actually do wish my parents would come here because they would love it, because it's so accessible.
It's a very warm and friendly city, and the rest of the world is here. This might be the most worldly city I've ever been to. If you've never been to Asia, Hong Kong might be the best place to start. So, please come. You're gonna make friends. You're gonna eat amazing food. You're gonna see incredible things.
Some of it might even stick with you.